name is Jeffrey Kirk. I'm a partner of Appleby Hong Kong office, and I'm here this afternoon to discuss segregated account companies, segregated portfolio companies, or protected sale companies, however they may be known in various jurisdictions. Well, these companies and these structures are known by different names in different jurisdictions. In Cayman BVI, they are known as segregated portfolio companies. In Isle of Man, Guernsey, Mauritius, and Seychelles, they're protected sale companies. And in Bermuda, they're known as segregated accounts companies. What, in essence, they offer is an ability to, within one company, have individual cells, numerous cells, which house specific assets and liabilities associated with those assets, and whereby those assets and liabilities are segregated from the assets and liabilities of other cells. Well, these structures have various uses across a number of different finance areas. I think the predominant one, and one which we're seeing most used nowadays, is in the funds arena. And particularly what it does, it facilitates the creation of umbrella fund structures. So you'll have one company with numerous cells within that company, segregation of assets and liabilities between each cell. Therefore, if you are launching an umbrella fund, you can launch the fund, and then for each individual sub-fund you use a separate cell. And by so doing, you can vary and create a balanced portfolio and a varied portfolio of investment products. Together with the funds arena, it's also been used and operated historically in insurance for rent captives. And we're also seeing a lot of use of these vehicles as asset holding companies, orphan asset holding companies, for instance, for aircraft finance. We've just very recently finished off a restructuring for a high net worth family office in Hong Kong, whereby specific family members would own specific assets, each within a specific cell. And that has proven to be a very popular vehicle for that purpose. They are proving to be popular across a range of industries. These vehicles developed from the offshore market, but interestingly enough, what we are seeing is these structures being adopted and used in the onshore environment as well, and particularly in the funds arena. In terms of the appeal of these vehicles, I don't believe that it's going to be restricted to any specific geographical area or specific demographic area. When looking at the uses it has, it's pretty universal. I believe that the true growth areas will be in mainland China, in the PRC, with the expansion and the increasing wealth to be seen there, the more use and incorporation and launching of various fund structures, the development of the insurance industry in the PRC, which is still quite immature in comparison to a number of other jurisdictions. I think there'll be a great deal of development, and I think the PRC will be one of the leaders in using these structures. Likewise, I believe that these structures have specific benefits for South America, agribusiness funds in particular. We've seen them used and have adopted these structures in the past. And of course, the existing jurisdictions and businesses which have made use of these in North America and in Europe, I believe that they will continue to do so going forward. Yes, I think the most interesting recent development is, as I've mentioned, the structure is that you have one company with various cells within that company. As an additional protection, what we are seeing is the introduction of what's called the incorporated cell company, whereby you have each of these individual cells, but in fact they're also incorporated. The difference between this structure and the traditional structure of a holding company with various intermediary holding companies and subsidiaries is really the cost and efficiency of that. Here you have one company which has numerous cells within that company, and each of the cells you can allocate to specific businesses, to specific geographical areas, or to specific risk considerations, such as in funds. To have done that historically would have required the incorporation of a multitude of different subsidiaries, which of course we know is an expensive proposition and not very efficient. This option creates or almost mimics that structure, but within one company, and gives you the ability to operate different businesses, to segregate assets and liabilities as you would with numerous subsidiaries, but again within one entity itself. And the incorporation of these cells as separate legal entities, I think, is probably the most exciting development recently. The key advantage to funds of an incorporated cell company structure is, as I mentioned previously, the umbrella fund structure, the ability to structure a fund with numerous sub-funds all within one entity, but then having unquestionable segregation of assets and liabilities so there can be no cross claims. You have the benefits of economies of scale across service providers, and thereby by doing that, instead of having individual contracts with service providers for individual incorporated fund companies, you'll have it for one company where they offer it to various cells as well. That will give efficiencies under cost, and likewise what it also offers in terms of the incorporation cost of individual cells is far cheaper and far easier to achieve than incorporating new separate legal entities, legal companies. And these are really the key structures and the key benefits for funds. Personally, I'm quite excited in terms of what the future holds for these kind of structures. I think this can be absolute new corporate vehicles going forward. The traditional structure of an ultimate parent company, intermediate holding companies and numerous subsidiaries, in fact, could fall away to a large extent. You could have a multinational existing as one company, and its various business operations in various different countries could be cells within that one company itself. So that would give huge efficiencies, cost efficiencies, in terms of operating efficiencies as well. And I think that is really an exciting future.